Hey, best friends, I'm Claire.
I'm Yana.
Welcome to
My best friends, a book club.
where we feel better. We feel better.
Finally.
Yay!
Ish.
Mostly.
I know you were all curious.
I know you're all really worried about us, so we figured we would tell
Yeah.
you that we're feeling better
Hey,
now.
thanks for no emails checking in on us.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Really nice of you.
Yeah.
Just
Love our
kidding.
fans.
It's not too late though. You can always send us an email at
mybffbookclub@gmail.com.
And this is the last episode covering
My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh.
Good job. I didn't even have to ask.
I knew you would test
remembered.
me. I knew.
You
I
got
practiced in the car again.
Good job, Yana. Well, this is pretty exciting that this is over.
Yeah,
I would
can't
say.
wait.
But I will also say, at last, things finally happened. Yeah.
At last.
Is that a
My
song?
love has come along.
Oh my God. So you actually have a bit of like a real summary today. So here we go. Oh, no, wait.
You want to do
Yana,
a little recap?
little recap. Yeah, give me that little recap, my girl. Shit.
So our girl's still taking drugs. I know, shocking.
It's shocking. So
and she's like doing crazy things in the middle of her sleeping. Then we find out that Riva and her like married lover break up and he transfers her to the Twin Towers. And then our girl is trying to get more meds from Dr. Tuttle. She gets that flower delivery from Ping. And that's where we end. Bye.
Okay, great. So let's get to the fucking end of this book. And then I have some interesting discussion points, but I think it's worthwhile to read some reviews because I think it helps with some of the discussion points.
Oh, okay.
It'll make sense when we get there, I think. Mix things up a bit. See what the fuck happens. Okay, we open with our girl.
Our nameless girl.
She's doing mirror checks. And again, she's just reminding us that she's so attractive. I still don't really know why this is relevant to this book, but it's brought up so many fucking times. George W. Bush, the past president.
Thank you for that.
Just, you never know. There's global listeners.
Okay.
He's being sworn in on TV. She listens for 30 seconds and then she's like, whatever. It's just like some more foreshadowing. So then Riva enters the apartment as she always does. And she's having another existential crisis. And she tells our girl that she scheduled her abortion and she needs her to tell her she's doing the right thing. And our girl being just like so helpful and kind and empathetic. Yeah, she's so good. We like her so much. She's like, hey, just take some of this Infirmiderol. Am I saying it right?
I don't know. Yeah.
She has a sample from Dr. Tuttle. And we also learned that this drug is actually not on the market and it does cause blackouts, which we found to be true with our hibernation girl. And obviously, PSA, don't share your drugs with people. I just felt the need to say that. Anyway, Riva starts asking a million questions about this drug, and our girl just lies to her and is like, take it, just fucking take it, Riva. So now they pop pills together, and then they watch Saved by the Bell, and then they black out. So here's my assessment of this friendship, okay? They watch porn together, they use drugs together, they overdrink alcohol together, and they just have a really wonderful friendship, I would say.
Best friends just like us.
Are you even best friends if you don't watch porn together? So then 3 days later, our girl wakes up from her Infirmiderol. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry.
A fake drug, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Apparently.
That's what I'm going to call it.
I just looked it up, but a lot of the drugs named in the book are fictional.
Interesting discussion. So then our girl wakes up from her blackout 3 days later, and she's still in her fur coat. Riva's gone. The apartment is suspiciously clean. And then she finds a Post-it note on her fridge that says, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life!" Exclamation point, XOXO.
Gossip Girl.
Hugs and kisses. And then she discovers that all of her pills are gone. And it's clear that Riva took everything. And she's the one who left this note that's like, your life's going to start now that you've stopped doing all your drugs. Right. So then, of course, she goes into a crazy panic and rage attack. She calls Reva. She has like a total meltdown in her voicemail. She's like, I could die without my pills. Have you heard about withdrawal? Which is something medically finally true, I would say, in this book, because I'm a doctor. And she's like, I could have seizures. I could have an aneurysm. I could have a total cellular collapse and die. So she spirals, she hallucinates, she eats the paper, post-it, and then she drinks tequila and she's like, I'm going to go get my pills back. So she goes to Reva's apartment, she lets herself in with her spare key, and then we learn that it's very clear that she has an eating disorder at this point. It's really sad, but
And
our
alcoholism.
Yeah, and our girl is just kind of an asshole. She's like making fun of her and judging
Which I know
her.
everyone's shocked by.
I'm shocked that she remains to be a really cool person. But there's like diet food everywhere, but there's also a lot of binge food.
Yeah.
There's weird pieces of exercise equipment. There's like a million trillion cans of 7-Up and yogurt. And of course, there's like vodka everywhere. So our girl is like looking for her pills. And she's just being a dick about Reva because she is a dick. And then she goes into the bathroom and she finally finds all her fucking pills. Thank God. And she's obviously like so incredibly happy. She's like, I'm going to make this perfect sleep cocktail. And she goes to leave the bathroom, but the bathroom door gets jammed shut and she can't get out. But this is a very important moment because this is when she has a big epiphany that the Infirmiderol always guarantees a 3-day blackout. So if she locks herself somewhere without a key, without anything, she can finally achieve her rest that she's been trying so hard to do. So she's like, who should be my jail keeper? So the Jizz artist comes back. Ping.
Oh my God.
He re-enters the story. Honestly, surprising. I thought he was done for. in like, I thought we wouldn't hear about him anymore. Remember, he's like a performance artist, kind of. I don't know if you could call him that, whatever. So she thinks of him. Reva finally comes home. She frees our girl from the bathroom. Our girl is like chaotically leaving. She's like, I gotta go put my plan into action. A little bit of time passes and Reva's back at our girl's apartment and our girl has decided she's gonna like clear her shit out. Everything. Furniture, clothes, books. She's gonna get rid of her phone, fucking everything. But she's gonna keep like some simple things like her mattress, a chair, her table, a few pieces of clothes and toiletries so she can like lock herself in her dungeon apartment. And she also gives Reva just like all of her designer clothes and shoes and bags and jewelry. And of course, Reva's really happy about this.
I don't blame her.
She calls it motivation because, you know, our girl's a little bit like thinner than she is. So she's like, oh, I will fit into these, you know, and your shoes are a little tight, but I'll make it work. Their friendship is just so weird, but like, whatever. So then she sets up a schedule with Ping, her jail keeper. He's going to bring her pizza every week and he's going to keep her locked in the apartment. She called the locksmith so that the lock is now on the outside of the door and only Ping can get in and out.
The locksmith didn't ask any questions.
He's like,
either.
whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like a post-it notes on the table if they need to communicate in any way. But her goal is she doesn't want to know what he's doing in there, what's happening. And in exchange for him being her jail keeper, she's agreed that he gets to film everything that she does. And he can like go into her apartment as he wants to.
She also chucks her phone into the water so she doesn't
have her
any
phone. Yeah.
Communication.
And she's like, what if I get crazy in my blackout and jump out the window? And she was like, too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Me back to the like, is she suicidal?
right, your theory.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Okay. She's like, I'm going to lock myself up until the Infirmiderol is gone, which is June.
I think she said for 4 months.
And then she calls Dr. Tuttle one more time because remember, she has to check in with Dr. Tuttle. And she's like, going off the grid. And Dr. Tuttle was like, people say that to me all the time. And then literally they never talk again.
Yeah.
We never, ever hear about Dr. Tuttle ever again, which is just kind of fucking weird, I feel. But whatever, we can discuss it.
Things. Yeah.
It just feels like there's so many like moments in this book that are so pointless The whole story is like pointless until the very end here. And even that, just when we get there, even it pisses me off.
too.
So we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the hibernation really begins now because she's locked in her apartment on her Infirmitorol, and she takes it and she passes the fuck out. Then we kind of enter this cycle of the book where she wakes up every 3 days. So she wakes up for the first time. She eats some pizza that Ping left. She bathes. She writes a note for Ping about some other stuff she wants, like animal crackers and lip balm, whatever. And then her mind, we kind of like get to go into her mind, and it's like breaking down language. And she's just like thinking about random words and shit. Words dissolve into sound, and she kind of just loses sense of what the fuck's going on, and everything, like all meaning, all time, all space, just like fucking leaves her. But then she wakes up again. We're kind of like going through this 3-day cycle with her a couple times, so I'm not going to take you through every time, only the ones that matter. And she starts to wake up like softer and calmer and lighter. And she passes out again. She wakes up. All her hair is cut off, like she says, like a boy cut. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's offensive, but like I think you get it, listener. And I'm not trying to be. Her bedroom's locked. She can't get in there. And then she smells turpentine, which I Googled, some kind of paint situation thing. And she realizes that Ping has been painting her while she's been sleeping. And remember, he's not supposed to leave any evidence. So I feel like we're kind of left to assume that the paintings are in her bedroom and that's why it's locked, I think. So now she's kind of like sleeping on the floor. Whatever. She takes her pills. She passes out again. Really shocking. But she's waking up and she's still feeling lighter and better. And now she starts to ask Ping for more fresh food. So not wanting pizza and junk food. She wants like salmon and she wants fruit. And then she even starts doing like some light exercises. And she starts thinking about flowers. And she's like gaining some weight at last. And she's just starting to feel okay. So it seems to be working.
Thank God.
And then by late May, she's, the end is nearing. The Infirmitorol is running out. And she wakes up and we're finally on her last dose of this drug. Remember, it's like June is the end. So then she takes it again. And this is like the final blackout. It's like really intense. She's falling through space and time. She's feeling really scared, lonely. It actually reads like she's dying. Like I thought she was going to die. Honestly, I kind of hoped that she died. Not to be an asshole. I just was like, I don't know, man. And then she realizes in this moment of just like complete terror and loneliness and everything that she does want to live. And she hopes that she's going to wake up, but blackout. So she wakes up and you're like, okay, is she dead or is she alive? And she's alive. It's the day that the Infirmitorol's done. It's the day that the whole experiment is over. And she agreed with Ping that he would unlock the door. He would leave out her clothes, her identity documents, like her passport and shit. It's the end. And he leaves her a Post-it that's like, hey, so great working with you. It actually seemed like a nice note. It just was kind of like weird. I don't know, whatever. So she finally leaves her apartment and she goes outside into the lobby and she passes out. And people are really nice. They rush to her. They're like, do you need anything? Can we call someone? And she's like, no, please help me back to my apartment. She's too like fragile to like go.
Her muscles are like dead.
She's too weak and malnourished and all the things to like go out of her house and walk a bunch. So they help her back in. And in this moment, she's like, people are actually really nice. So her perspective is shifting. I know, it's really enlightening. And then it takes her 3 days of like rest and recovery.
Rest and relaxation.
And in her apartment where she can like finally have the strength and the nutrition to go outside. So then she just spends a couple weeks learning how to exist in the world again. She starts taking short walks, making them longer as she goes. She doesn't faint anymore. She's hanging out on park benches and eating egg salad sandwiches and no more junk food. And she's reading a ton because, reading's so good for you. It is. Sorry, I didn't mean that sarcastically. she's sleeping easy. She's not having any more of her weird nightmares. She's not pill popping. She goes to Goodwill and she's like, I like this idea of re-owning things that were someone else's. So she refurnishes her entire apartment with all shit from Goodwill. And she donates her fur coat that she's been wearing the entire book, which we learned Ping gave to her. I'm assuming that night she went clubbing, blacked out. And then she like goes to the park every day and she makes friends with the squirrels. She feeds them cornflakes. And she's done drinking coffee. You know, she's just fucking a new person. Queen. It's honestly really fucking annoying. I'm not going to get into it right now because I am going to rant about it. So I'm just going to finish this
feelings too.
fucking book. We're almost there. And then she calls Riva at last. It's Riva's birthday, so that's why she calls her and she asks to meet up. They do. It's like kind of awkward. It's fine, but it's kind of clear that like their friendship is basically over. And this is the moment that our girl finally wholeheartedly is like, Riva, I really do love you. And Riva, you know, is still kind of just Riva. And she's like, yeah, I love you too. Like, whatever. Like, hers isn't really heartfelt. I get it's kind of the sense I got, right? Yeah, okay. So then finally, Ping's art exhibit goes live in the museum. And it's portraits of her with her head painted giant, like fucking huge. And there's video of her just in the apartment doing weird shit, right? But it's nothing inappropriate. There's like corporate logos involved. He's got like voicemails from his mom over videos. It's fucking weird. And she gets to see the reviews. They're really mixed, I guess I would say. But she doesn't give a fuck. So that's literally the end of like Ping. Again, another character that just like really doesn't matter. And I don't know why. I don't know why. So then she goes to the Met one day, the museum in New York. Listen, I don't know.
So many people, so many things.
I don't want to make any assumptions about anyone, okay? So she's like staring at this portrait of fruit, like a painting of fruit. And she starts to have just like the deepest thoughts about this fucking fruit. And it's fucking stupid. Sorry, Otessa. I'm sorry. There's like 5 pages of her talking about the fruit and how the fruit is stuck forever. I was I can't do this. Fuck. I can't. And then she's like getting real close up on the picture. On the portrait. And the security guard's like, ma'am, you know. And then she, instead of stepping away, decides she's going to touch it. I don't know. I can't. It's fine. This obviously gets her kicked out of the museum. But this is her moment where she has another realization that there is no like God policing and things just are and time can't be held even if it's painted. It's all really like trying to be deep. But at this point, I'm just mad and I'm frustrated and I'm annoyed. And so I feel like the meaning of this book, I see it, I hear it, whatever, but I'm mad. Anyway. She's fucking free, right? She's free. She's happy. She's like, I did it. I'm a new person after my blackouts. She finally sells her parents' house. She's letting go of the past. Everything's wrapping up so wonderfully in this book. She goes to Central Park. She's still...
in New York.
Fuck off. She's just so alive, you know, and she's got her family of squirrels that she feeds all the time now. And she calls Riva. It seems like she finally like wants to be friends with Riva, but Riva's working out. So she's like, can I call you back? Riva never calls her back. And now it's September 11th. The thing we all knew was coming, I think.
In America.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you after the podcast. So the Twin Tower attack happens, right? Towers go down. And she bought a TV VCR so she could record and keep rewinding it and watching it happen. The main reason she's doing this is because there's a woman that's jumping from the 78th floor and she looks identical to Riva. And she even calls out that like one of her shoes is like tight. It seems like, you know, her shoes were a little too tight on Riva. So it's like, this is Riva. And then she just keeps watching the footage on repeat. And she's like noticing that even in all this terror, that the woman looks beautiful. And the final line of the book is, there she is, a human being diving into the unknown. And she is wide awake. The end.
Honestly, Claire, the worst part of this book for me is that we've had to live it twice. Like, read it and then talk about it. Like, we've had to read it. We've had to then summarize what we just read. So we had to go through it twice.
Yeah.
And then we have to talk about it. And it feels like I've read the book twice, which I would never do.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks.
I agree. I keep thinking about Just for the Summer.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, season 3 or something? Go listen to it. It's funny, everyone. It feels kind of insufferable like Just for the Summer, but like it's still very well written. It's just like the story is bad. I feel it's bad.
I feel like if we could take the writing of My Year of Rest and Relaxation with the story of Just for the Summer, we can maybe make a tolerable book.
Okay, so before we go into discussion, I want to go through some reviews because I feel like like I said, it's going to help facilitate discussion. We'll give you a mix of like good and bad. Overall, it looks like the book is rated about like 4 out of 5 stars generally.
I'd say 4 is like the kind of main.
Yeah, I think on Goodreads it's a little less. It's like 3.9 or something. Mm-hmm. Okay, so before I read a review, let me just read you the summary from like Amazon. It's a summary of what customers say generally, like their AI tool that does that for you. It says, customers find the book's writing brilliant, contemporary, and appreciate its dark humor and thought-provoking content with philosophical questions and depth. The plot receives mixed reactions. While some find the story good, others say it's not a story at all. And customers disagree on whether the main character is likable. The book's pacing and readability also receive mixed reviews, with some finding it moving while others describe it as horribly irresponsible, and some enjoying it as a fun bedtime read, while others consider it the most boring read of their life. And like positive, negative summed up. Positive, writing quality, thought-provoking humor. Negative, readability, likability, pacing, depressing content, plot. And I don't mean to be an asshole and like, listen, we can all have our views on AI, but I was like, I think I agree with that. So that's just what the AI tool summarized from every review on Amazon. Shout out, sponsor us. Why don't you start with your first
Positive?
Positive.
Okay. This is 5 stars from Audrey. I hate her, but I also am her.
Good job, Audrey. Just so you know, too, we always try to find ones that are like, they're funny or they're more interesting. It's not like someone going on a rant as people do on reviews, you know. Anyway, continue.
Another 5 star?
Oh, that's
literally all she wrote. I know. That's why I thought it was hilarious.
That is hilarious. Oh, okay. Here's a 4-star. I didn't get this person's name in my screenshot. Sorry. It's titled Not Relaxing at All. I was drawn to this book because I recently had to sacrifice a year of my life to major organ transplant surgery and recovery. I guess I wanted to see how someone else spent a year of, quote, rest and relaxation. So I didn't feel so bad about not being able to do more with my own time. I thought this was interesting because she's really going through something. This person, sorry, I don't know if she's a she, sorry. Well, this woman spent so much of her time going to her crazy ass shrink and popping pills, she really didn't get much rest at all. She actually worked harder at plotting and planning her sleep time and pill taking than she ever did at her job in an art gallery. Between her needy girlfriend, psychotically selfish ex-boyfriend, and wigged out artist, client/friend, she was constantly bowing, scraping, running, and fetching for someone other than herself. By the time this book ended, I was sad for everyone involved, and you will be too. But mostly you will be sad that you didn't spend your time better than reading this book. While this book was incredibly well written, I feel the author could have served herself and the world in general better by devoting the time it took to write and research this book to something else instead. I don't know why she gave this book 4 stars. That doesn't sound
I
like
was
4
gonna say
stars
that
to me at
doesn't-
all.
She's like, I'd rather her not have done this though.
Yeah, and she's like, I really had to rest and relax for a year, and like she kind of had to experience this, and I'm not sure why she gave 4 stars, but I just thought it was an interesting review.
All right, I have another 5 stars by Kaylee. All it says.
Oh my god.
Nothing happened, but I couldn't put it down.
Okay. That's so weird. I feel like I could have put this book down.
Also.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into like middle reviews, like 3-star, 2-star kind of thing.
I kind of just did 1 and 5.
Okay, that's fine. This is from Rebecca. Don't read if you're depressed. Well written, but drags on a bit. This is 3 stars. This book was entertaining and well written. Dark humor and sarcastic are always fun, but I will say about halfway through, it felt like the story was dragging out. The ending didn't make me happy, nor did it make me angry. It just was. I suppose that's the energy of the book as well. I don't regret reading it necessarily, but it's depressing, so I suggest trying to have an alternate book to switch to keep your spirits up. I say this as a person who relates to feeling quiet, sluggish, and misunderstood often.
1 more 5-star from me. This is from Kat.
Ooh.
The most annoying privileged white woman faces no consequences for her actions. 5 stars.
This is so interesting that I don't know what to make of those short reviews.
I'm really into
someone. These are funny. Are yours from Amazon too?
No.
Okay.
I did Goodreads.
Okay, good job. Maybe we should always do that.
Yeah.
One of us split.
I also dug deep just in case, like,
We repeated
Yeah,
each other. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, this is from Charles. 3 stars. He has it titled Pharmaceutical Science Fiction. Moshfegh writes well, but can we talk about brain damage, liver damage, organ failure? Well, I understand that people can make poor decisions when they are deeply depressed because their parents were cold and didn't know how to love them. What I can't understand is why the author would write this story without a mention of the internal physical danger of all the kind of pill popping the protagonist was enjoying. Would a person who took so many pharmaceuticals as this woman did for an entire year have emerged from this experience weak but essentially healthy and her psyche cleansed as she had intended? Not a chance in hell. I'd venture to say my year of prescription drug abuse should have been the title. Very clever there at the end there, Charles.
I agree with that. That pissed me off afterwards. I was like, I feel like she just wrote a book about how you should do this in order to come out on the other side fine.
Right. This is in discussion.
I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Another short 5 stars by Samara. This fits neatly under no plot, just vibes. Agree.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird when they have higher ratings, but then what they write doesn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck does that? What do I make of that? Okay, let's get into 1 star. Here's a short one I've got for you. Sucked is the header. Pointless and stupid. I threw it in the trash once I finished. And then she has a picture of it literally in the trash.
That's incredible. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Oh, sorry. That's it.
Okay, I have a 1 star from Greg.
Fucking Greg.
The kind of literature they should give elderly patients in group homes to convince them to choose euthanasia.
Oh, gosh.
Yep.
Damn. All right, I'm going to give you one more. This one is 1 star and it's titled Irresponsible. As someone who experienced a lot of childhood trauma and been on many pharmaceutical drugs, this book was irresponsible and disturbing. Not entertaining or provocative at all when someone who has experienced these issues reads this book. I always pass along books. This was the first one I have ever thrown away because I don't want someone who has these issues to accidentally read this book and think what has been written to be a way of dealing with trauma, even in this quote artistic way. The character would have been dead after the first chapter. This is not something trivial that should have been written about in any way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's rough.
There's also one more by Katie that just says...
Okay, let's do it.
It just says, thanks, I hated it.
How many stars? 1?
1.
Okay. Thank you for that. Bye.
But I did also find there's one more that's not really a review. It was a response to a review. The review was 1 star that just said, I can't even talk about this right now. I'll tell you all about it later. I'm just currently shocked that people read this and had positive feelings. What exactly did they like? And someone responded to it and said, I honestly feel like some people are not enjoying this book because they want this big plot or this interesting thing to happen, But the point is that nothing interesting will happen, and that's exactly what having depression feels like. I think some people are missing the point of the protagonist being so depressed and unaware of her issues that her cure to life is sleeping it away and being a pill-popping maniac. Even though it's not a good solution, it's her solution, and we have to stand by and read as she self-destructs and continuously ask ourselves, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
It was an interesting...
Yeah, no, I read some like that too. Okay, into discussion we go, team. Okay, just so you have a baseline of like what everyone is thinking, including us here. So it's like, is this a sort of an artistic book where, yeah, maybe it is a little dull and boring, but that's what depression can be like. It's like the depression is the book. And nothing happens and she's sad and everything sucks and she's a dick because, like, just deep fucking depression.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way she goes about it is always the problem because the pill popping is, well, it works at the end.
Yeah, it becomes an ad for it, and I really hate that. I think when there was that point a couple episodes ago where we were at the point in the book where she was popping these pills to try and sleep, but then she was like blackout living still. And I think when that was happening, I was a little bit more on board with that idea of like, you can't really make your body do this and your brain is going to find a way to live. And, I think humans are wired to try and live, to try and survive. So I think when I thought it was going to head down that road,
that's when I thought it was going to get interesting. Remember, I got excited?
Yes, totally. And I still don't support like the pill popping thing, but it would have maybe had a better message at the end.
Like the whole, like, you can't really stop living.
Right. But instead it was like 95% of the book was her pill popping and being a bitch to everyone. And then the book in the last 5% just ends with, but we good now.
Yeah.
It did exactly what I had wanted to, or what I had wanted from it. Now everything's fine. It literally is like my last night. I'm just going to do this one more time. And then I wake up in the morning and everything's fine now. And it worked. And so I recommend this now to everyone. If you're super, super depressed, quit your job, delete everyone out of your life, drug your body to hell.
Get a ping.
Yeah, get a ping. Get yourself locked in. Be just super unhealthy, unhinged, rude, just terrible. But it's okay because everything will be fine at the end.
I appreciate the reviews where people are like, well, this is depression.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like that's a fair, like, blanket statement. Like, there's many forms of depression, even like the deepest of depressions. And I've had many people in my life growing up who they're on prescriptions, things like that. I myself have gone through like deep depressions. I would say I'm thankful that I haven't gone into something incredibly deep like this book, but not everyone is an asshole when they're depressed. And not everyone is, like so awful and unlikable like her. So I don't really like this argument of like, well, that's what it's like to be fucking depressed.
Condoning
come
treatment
on.
For depression too. That isn't, I don't think there's any psychologist, psychiatrist, doctor, whatever, who would read this and be like, solid treatment plan.
Right.
I also feel like it's insulting a little bit to the psychologist, psychiatrist profession.
Because of Dr. Tuttle?
Yeah. I just feel like, I don't know, it just made obviously that's a very specific type of example of this psychiatrist who's like totally unhinged and should have her license taken away. Honestly, don't even know if she has one. It's awful. But I think it's an insult to the profession still, the way that this was talked about. I don't like it. It makes me feel icky.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get stuck on it, but I am. It's like she ends up okay and happy and rejuvenated. And it also just feels like not realistic in the sense of like when you have deep depression and things like that going on in your brain and you have chemical imbalance, you can't just like drug yourself on something and then you wake up, you stop taking pills and you have no withdrawal or anything like that. And then all these problems, that you've been trying to sort through mentally, emotionally, like they just disappear.
She's had no actual therapy.
Yeah, it's not fucking real.
Right. She's had no real therapy. She's had no real management of antidepressants, anti-anxiety, whatever she's doing. There's been no actual treatment, just masking of symptoms.
Yes.
And the book just ends with, and it worked.
And that's not real, right?
Right.
Like
So
when you
what-
have depression like that, you have
Absolutely.
to deal with
Absolutely.
it. It fucking sucks, but you gotta
Not
like
ignore it by
Yeah.
drugging yourself for a year. And so like my worry is that, like that person says, the fear that someone with actual, you know, real depression picks this up, reads it, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the one thing I haven't tried.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this. And how fucking dangerous that is, and could end up being like a suicidal thing, unintentionally maybe drugging yourself into an overdose.
Right. I mean, the amount of
Mixing
pills she
things.
takes is, I mean, I don't
No.
know that much about these kind of drugs, but like, I would assume, even the
Right.
people in the reviews some people seem like they had more experience with these types of pharmaceuticals. They were like, this girl will be fucking dead.
Right. And I mean, it's interesting, right, that these are
They're
made up
fake.
pills.
Yeah, that
because
was
she
super
probably could have been
interesting.
sued by companies who actually make this stuff.
Right.
And encouraging kind of like
I
the taking
wonder
of it.
if it's like her way of being responsible in writing this book. It's like it plays into the fact that it's fiction.
Well, maybe that
because-
plus the fact that then you don't have to do that much research into the interaction of these drugs and the kind of damage it could actually cause to a body.
Yeah.
So you just make them up and
I mean, you know, obviously you have creative rights to do whatever you
Right.
want in your books. And I think even in all the bad reviews, all the good reviews, everyone agrees it's incredibly well written book. It's clever. There is like some funny parts. The writing's just like dark, but it's like smart and it's sharp. Like no denying that. But
I just feel like
I don't like the
literally
end
what's
message.
the point? What's the point of the book
know.
other than the message of just do this and you'll be fine?
But then there's that whole artistic piece where like the book in itself is artistic because like the book is it's almost like a actual living thing. The book of it's like a
Right.
depressed person that you're like in their mind and reading it, which I respect from like a creative perspective, but I still just feel like I don't know. I think I don't want to be like a prude bitch, but like I think I kind of agree with the people that say it's irresponsible and I don't know. I don't like that it worked in the end. I mean, the whole thing's fiction. I get it, like whatever, but I just
It's like so
I
many
just don't
pieces,
feel like it should have worked.
Yeah, it should not have worked. It should not have worked. Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many really big issues that just go not properly managed. You know, whether it's like, you know, our girl Relaxation over here or Riva who's has an eating disorder and alcoholism and it's just part of the book. Like
Yeah.
there's just no real treatment of anything.
I was thinking too, like, fine, have your fiction book about drugs and whatever. But I feel like this book, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no trigger warning at the end.
I don't
at the
think so
beginning.
either.
I feel like this book should have a
Yeah.
trigger warning. And there should be some kind of message that's like, you know, this is a creative
Mhm.
piece of fiction. We don't encourage this behavior. You know, we're going to really get into deep issues of mental health and pharmaceutical drugs and self-care. Is there a fucking
No,
She's looking,
I'm
everyone.
in Google. I'm just typing like does my year of rest and relaxation
Yeah.
have a trigger warning? And the first suggestion by Google is does my year of rest and relaxation book get better?
Oh my God. These AI tools, I think they're really fun. It's cool that they can like comb through every single thing that's ever been said about this book or other things. And they're like, this is what everyone said at once. And I'm like, hell yeah, tell me. But let me check. Let me just go into the book right now. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents either are the product of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously, and any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, businesses, companies, events, or locales is entirely coincidental. That feels like more of like a legal
yeah,
piece than like
that's
a,
not a
hey,
trigger
this is a
warning.
trigger warning.
And also, I don't agree with that 100% because I feel like someone who also has significant PTSD from 9/11,
Oh yeah, they don't even talk about
that's not a
that
fictional
trigger.
event.
Yeah.
That doesn't actually apply to anything that's written in what you just read.
Well, and usually when a book has a trigger warning, it's like, this is it's very clear. Like in the next book we're reading, we can talk about at the end. I'm really excited about this one. There's like, you open the book, you know, it's like title page, and then it's like, hey, everyone, triggers. And there's like a laundry list outlining those things. But it just felt like by the end of this book, we should have had some kind of trigger warnings about mental health, depression, you know, not recommending this type of approach. You know, 9/11 probably should have been there too. I don't know. I guess I just kind of felt, I guess I do think it's irresponsible. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my stake in the fucking ground.
Absolutely. I feel like, no, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, even the way like 9/11's addressed, like there are photos and videos of people jumping out of the buildings.
Yeah.
And those are somebody's
real people. Yeah.
And it just kind of just like is a thing. Like it's just, I don't know.
It's used as like this way to kind of wrap up our girl's story. We never learn her name. I don't give a fuck about her name, honestly, at this point. But it's like the meaning of life, right? The whole philosophical part of this about like Reva wanted to live even though she was struggling. And our girl was in her deep depression. She was fighting like that. And, you know, her desire to live, not live, whatever. Reva had her problems too, but she wanted to live, it seems. And then it's like now Reva's the one who dies. And it's like there's no reason things happen in the world, just like our girl has, you know, said this whole time, has felt it. But kind of gives you that philosophical wrap up of like life and death and what both of these two main characters went through. And the one who had problems but wasn't in such deep depression is the one that dies at the end in some tragic event that shouldn't have happened. And, you know, there's no logic behind it. It's just like a bad thing that happened. And honestly, kind of took problem with the end with that too, like using 9/11 for that, like that specific event. And I don't know. And that main character is just so unlikable. And then we're supposed to like her at the end because she's like renewed from her drug overdose and she's like friends with squirrels and
zero repercussions like, for what she's done.
Yeah.
To anyone else's life too.
I don't know. I don't like it.
No, it actually is pissing me off a little bit more as we talk about this. It's pissing me off to the reviews because it's a New York Times bestseller. It's a New York Times reader's pick of 100 best books in the 21st century. It's best book of the year by Washington Post.
It's a best book of the year?
NPR, Vice, Bustle, the New York Times, The Guardian, Entertainment Weekly. And the reviews on it, like Entertainment Weekly says, one of the most compelling protagonists modern fiction has offered in years, a loopy, quietly furious pillhead whose Ambien ramblings and Xanaxed bitcheries somehow wend their way through sad and funny and strange towards something genuinely profound. And Vogue says darkly hilarious. The kind of provocateur.
Look at you, literary woman.
The kind of provocateur who makes you laugh out loud while drawing blood. I didn't relate to that at all. And the last one by The New Yorker, Otessa Moshfegh is easily the most interesting contemporary American writer on the subject of being alive when being alive feels terrible. I just feel like this adds to the irresponsible feeling of recommending this. Yeah, I don't think it's funny. I don't think the topic, I mean, I can see where she's trying to be like dark humor.
I can see the dark humor all throughout it.
But
I laughed at some points, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, but it's just because like, I feel like they're just so obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, and the sentence structure is just so cleverly crafted, like the word choice and like analogies and metaphors. But you're like, that was a good one.
I think the overall topic of the book, I mean, the themes, the depression, the taking drugs, the being so rude, the parents dying, the crazy psychiatrist who shouldn't be practicing, 9/11, like all these things, I don't feel overall should be put into the category of humor. There's abortion. There's
dark humor in it.
Yeah, I just like there's
and I feel like there's no satisfying wrap up or like real conclusion where it's like she had real problems, this girl, right? And like there's clear connections to her childhood, the way her mom popped pills, that stuff with her dad. It's clear that she is privileged, but she has had her trials and tribulations like all of us. And she has things that she really needed to work through and to just take drugs. And then I feel like I never got the release of like her even having a realization that like, oh, I'm popping pills like my mom. Or why did I freak out when my dad was dying? And I was like, send me a sign from the afterlife. And the way she treats Reva and her weird stuff with Trevor, her ex-boyfriend. And she never has I don't feel like she ever really dealt with those things. No,
because there's no actual
she
real
just drugged herself.
Yeah, there's no actual real healing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowhere in the book.
So I don't know. I read a lot of reviews too where people were like, you just don't get it because you've never been this depressed. And maybe that's fucking true. But like I said, I've had a lot of people in my life who have struggled with deep, deep, deep depression. I've had bouts of my own, privileged to not have gone that deep. But like I said, I don't think there's one blanket way that you're depressed and like you just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but like I don't think that argument holds up. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel I at the end of the day, I feel like this book is just condoning this
It's
kind
irresponsible.
of treatment.
Yeah. A lot of reviews talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm so confused too by the reviews that were like 4 or 5 star and they're like, I hate this, 4 stars, or like incredibly irresponsible, but 5 stars. Like, what? I don't know. Are people just scared to like tell the truth and say like 2 stars, loved the main character for whatever reason, but I don't really agree with, you know, this approach, whatever. But it's like there's so many conflicting stars to what people actually wrote that I don't really know what to make of it, honestly. Here's what we'll give it, though. It certainly creates conversation, right? Like, I can't remember the last time we were, like, having a passionate, like, we got mad.
Yeah. Well, when I was trying to come up with my own review for the book afterwards, like or my own rating, I feel like I have to kind of like split up my rating between the writing versus the content.
Maybe that's why people rated it higher, because the writing is really good. Like, you can't deny that.
But even, I guess overall,
yeah. Let's do it. What's your rating?
if I had to bring in. Okay, just a message, 1 star.
Like, don't do this.
Yeah,
bad.
0. I mean, honestly, 0 stars.
No trigger warning.
Yeah,
like,
0 stars. I think it's irresponsible.
Okay,
but
this is just our views, by the way. People, you're allowed to feel all the fuck you want to.
Absolutely. So I would say, 0 stars just for that piece. And what's bringing it up is the writing. But I am so still upset about the content that I think I can't give it more than like a 2.5.
Yeah, I was like struggling between like 2.5 and 3 because of the writing. I've said it a million times. I think it's very well written. I do like dark humor. I always have. I think just like her sentence structure, it's sharp, it's snappy, it's witty. But I really didn't like it. And I agree it's irresponsible. And I just don't even feel like any healing actually happened.
The message is gross.
And I really don't like that there's not a trigger warning before this book. I think, honestly, I would have liked it more if I opened it and it was like, hey, hella fiction.
Yeah.
Don't support this. Like, there's mention of 9/11, potential suicide kind of stuff. I think I would have just
drug addiction, death.
I think I would have been
eating disorders.
I would feel the irresponsible piece wouldn't feel as heavy.
Absolutely.
And I'd be like, this is a piece of fiction, a creative art form, you know?
Yeah, I feel very lucky that with my own life, just I'm okay, right? Like, I don't need that trigger warning. I made it through the book. I'm just going to move on. I've also experienced depression myself throughout my life, not to this level. So I'm okay. Yeah. But I would be worried about someone who went in completely blind and did not have the same kind of like, you know, life I do and had experienced this stuff to a point where it would have been really damaging. I think it's super irresponsible to not have a trigger warning. And I would be able to read it more or think of it more as this fictional story, you know, pick up at your own risk kind of thing. Who cares about the message? You knew what you were getting into if that trigger warning was there.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny that we picked this book because it was like, my year of rest and relaxation. Like, that's how we want to start 2026. Yeah. Like, let's start the year with this book. And it's just like the total fucking opposite of what
the intent was.
We thought was going to go down
and
here.
We would have had no way of knowing because there was no trigger warning.
Rihanna, for the entire book, what's your food rating? Your final entree?
I'm going to say raw egg.
Ew. God.
Because I think it's really irresponsible sometimes to eat it.
But they're so healthy for you, and that's the good writing piece.
Well, that's the egg piece.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, actually, I'm going to change it.
Okay. Oh, shit.
I'm going to say raw milk.
Oh, not whole milk? Sorry. If you know, you know.
Like, it's 2026 in the year of our Lord.
Oh, my God.
And it's just really irresponsible to be doing these kind of things.
And that is what whole milk is?
No, raw milk.
Oh, sorry. And that is raw, right.
Like,
okay.
We know too much in 2026 to be doing such irresponsible things. And that's how I feel about this book. Like, it's 2020. Well, this was written not 2026, but close enough to now for Otessa to know about trigger warnings. So
I feel like this is, for me, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. Like I can't have it like really at all. So when I go and I order like coffee at Starbucks, shout out, sponsor us. I always am like, I stress decaf because like it makes me trip the fuck out. Like I get shaky, I faint, I throw up. My body has an incredible reaction to it. I feel like that's what happened to me. I ordered decaf. I asked for it specifically.
double checked.
And then I got it and I ended up having just like a terrible reaction to the end result of the thing I thought I was going to enjoy and I wanted. That's my final
I can see
rating.
that.
So anyway.
Are you reading anything else?
Yes, I started a book on, I can't remember the title right now, but it's The History of Cocktails.
Oh.
It's actually been really...
I definitely didn't think that was the word you were going to say. The way you enunciated it, I was like, what?
I do like smut too.
Yeah, I was like, the history of cocktails.
Is there a history of cocks? I want to read it. Just kidding. Maybe. No, I like to balance in some other pieces of
some learning
books. Yeah. And so I was like, so I like to mix in, other books and, I don't just read fiction. Okay. I am a literary woman. And then I figured with our next book, I wanted to balance in something more educational. So what about you? What's your sexy side piece?
I've been reading The Woman by Kristen Hanna.
The very highly rated book.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like 100 pages in right now, which I guess that's a decent amount to know whether or not you like a book. But I feel like even from the beginning, like the first just few pages, it had my attention right away.
I bet you it's going to be good. I mean, it sounds like it's amazing.
I was starting to get to a point pretty early on in the book where I was I just wanted to keep reading rather than do something else. I do too.
I fucking love that feeling so much where like, even when you're at work, you're like, I just want to go home and read my book, Yeah. Even if you have like a favorite TV show, you love this book so much. And work is hard, right? So sometimes your brain is too tired to read, but it doesn't matter because you're so excited about that book that you just want to go home and eat and read.
This is the book that I would say, like, I can't read before bed because I won't go to bed.
Your brain is too like stimulated.
Well, no, I just want to keep going. So it's like exactly what a sleep specialist would tell you not to be reading.
Right. Check out The Women, everyone. Shit.
I've been reading this more of like an after work, pre-dinner kind of thing. But so really into it. Good job, Kristen Hanna. I've pretty much liked anything she's written. She's also local, so sponsor us.
Is she local?
She's Bainbridge, I think.
Girl.
Not that we live anywhere near Bainbridge.
Come talk to us.
But we're in your proximity.
We keep mentioning our next book. So if you want to read along with us, we're going to do a spicy romance. I think romance. For February, the month of love and hearts and Valentine's and shit. So we're going to read the very trending viral Lights Out and Into the Darkness novel by Navessa Allen. I think I said that right. I'm honestly really excited about this. I love like romantic-y smut, and it's not like fantasy. It's like true smut in like real life. Which I've never really read. So,
and I'm
really excited.
Never been like a smut reader, so this is a very new experience for me.
I really wanted you to read smut, which is why I kind of forced her into this
I feel like you chose a really like intense one to start with.
I don't know, honestly.
I mean, just kind of, I don't know, reading the description feels like it's a lot. Maybe don't have your kids in the car while you're listening to us on.
We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know. We can't be responsible for anything anyone might hear. Maybe don't listen to this with like your family.
Our podcast is labeled explicit, so I'm sure you all know that. Yeah, I hope. I really wanted Rihanna to read smut in some capacity, and she doesn't really like fantasy, so I knew not. Also, those books are like 400 pages all of them, right?
I'm not gonna do that.
ACOTAR, Fourth Wing, like Crescent City, everything's like 500 pages. So
I get to a point where I'm like, oh, there's a dragon in this? No, fuck this. I'm not doing dragons. I'm not doing fucking unicorns. Fucking like
a talking dragon. Hell yeah.
No. No, absolutely not. If there's like more planets and I have to memorize fucking planet names, no, I'm over it.
If you open a book and there's a map, you're like, not for me.
I hate those. Oh my God. That's such a good point. I hate books with maps.
So funny.
And they're always like, none of these places are ever named like,
Right. Charlottesville.
It's just like, it's always just like I could never remember them.
It's like in Lothlorien. And you're like, what?
No, take the elves out of your shit.
Love elves.
No. Oh my God, that's such a
Love
good
a
point,
spicy
Claire.
elf.
A book with a map, that is not my jam.
Yeah, if you open it, you're like, fuck this. This does not have a map. And it does have a very good trigger warning. I'm going to make a video about it because it made me laugh, but I also appreciate it. And it did help. It honestly has helped me with, I started it, read it because I'm like, oh, I don't know about that trigger warning. But then I'm like, no, I was warned. I agreed to this experience. So like, let's see what happens, right? Like I am responsible for my own experience at this point.
Mm-hmm. Great.
So we're going to start that. I think we're doing pages 1 through 46 if you want to read along with us. But like always, we summarize and we have discussions. So you can just also listen to the podcast and say you read the book. As always, we're trying to grow the pod. So share us with your friends. Start little book clubs if you want. Send us notes. Whatever the fuck you wanna do. And tap that 5-star. Like.
You're tapping a trigger warning on shit because you're responsible.
That's where my brain was going, was the trigger warning. I think, honestly, that would make a huge difference for this book. Sorry, we're not going to get back into it. I really think it would have made a big difference for me. Anyway, tap that 5-star. And also just because, be a good person. So
please. Honestly, if you don't really like us that much right now, if you can tap that 5-star anyway and then give us pointers, like actually email us, maybe we'll get better.
At mybfbookclub@gmail.com. And it's the start of the new year, everybody. And this is the perfect time to start fucking reading and start your year off right for your brain. So, if nothing else, remember.
Keep on. Oh.
Your voice like popped out.
Because I felt it come up. Keep on reading.
Hey friends, this is a post-episode note. We know we didn't do our segment, What Does Yana Remember? It's because the entire book was pretty redundant. And also we didn't want to take away from the serious nature of the book. So you can be mad or not, but we love you either way. Bye!